All righty. Welcome to Side by Sides podcast about wine. I'm Mike, and my co-hosts are co-hosts.
Rachel, hi. I'm Mike's daughter.
Hi, I'm Kevin. I am Rachel's husband and Mike's son-in-law.
Very good. So far, this is now episode 3. And so we did episode 1, which is about climate, and then cold and warm climates and what that does. And then episode 2 was about oak and no oak. And that was 2 different Chardonnays. Were oaked and unoaked. And now we're on to episode 3, which is about some oak and lots of oak. And so the wines that we're going to deal with are Spanish wines from the area of Rioja in España. And they're one of them is called they're both made out of Tempranillo is the point, but they're made differently, which results in different oak levels on them. So one of the wines is called Marqués de Cáceres. That's the brand. And it's a type of wine that is called Rioja, but it's called a Crianza. And then the other wine is going to be a Campo Viejo, is the manufacturer. And it is still a Rioja. It's still made out of Tempranillo, but it is called a Gran Reserva, a great reserve. Okay. So Marqués de Cáceres is a marquis, which would be a form of royalty who would be in charge
I guessed.
a march. The march would be the borderlands, right? And so in Spanish, it's Marqués de Cáceres. And the reason it's called that is because they still have those people. And the Marqués de Cáceres funded this winery and was their big investor. So it got named Marqués de Cáceres. And that's what reminded me a story about Rachel's great-grandfather. Do you know this story?
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yes. So you did have a great-grandfather named Quentin Jameson. His business was to go about Ohio, letting on to the Hicks in Ohio that he was the Marquis of Edinburgh because he was from Scotland. And that was one of his tricks. He was a scoundrel, which tells us a lot about where you came from, apparently. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he was fun. So they have we should look at this. Rioja is at a place in Spain, and we should look at this if I can figure out how to share the screen. Alrighty. Are we seeing Spain now?
Yes.
So yeah, it's kind of in the north of Spain, and so it is a wine area named Rioja, and it's kind of there in northern Spain along the Duero River. And if you follow that river down, it goes into Portugal, and it changes its name to Douro, and that's where they make the port in Portugal. It's the same river, just farther upstream. And so the grape that they grow is called Tempranillo. It's a particular varietal. So basically, most or all of their wines are made out of Tempranillo. And there's different levels of them. So there's a very basic level called Joven, which means young. And so they just make it and put it in a bottle and sell it. So it's like brand new wine. And then above that, there's the Crianza, one of the ones we're going to taste, has to be in barrel it has to be at least 2 years old, and it's got to have 1 year in barrel and 1 year in bottle. So it's 2 years old, and 1 year in barrel means it's got that much oak, basically. And then there's a Reserva, a reserve, which is above that, which I think is 3 years, has to be 3 years. I'd have to check that because we're not drinking it today. And then the top one is the Gran Reserva, the Great Reserve, which has to be 5 years old, and it has to be at least 2 in barrel and at least 2 in bottle, and then that other year can be split up in some other way. So it could be 3 years in barrel and 2 in bottle, for example. And so that's what makes it be notionally more oaky. And I guess, of course, the winemaker could screw around that and use newer oak in one, lesser oak in the other. But I think in the spirit of the thing, it comes out to be Gran Reserva would be more oaky in essence.
Okay.
And very typically, they'd be doing it on American oak, strangely enough. So we over here are importing oak from France, and in Spain, it's for this particular wine anyway. It's more common for them to use the American oak. I mean, they may be using some French too, but American kind of predominates. So, what else do we know about this?
So, why these 2 wines? Is it because of the drastic difference in how long they're on oak?
Yeah. So we're sort of in the way of like getting an idea about what oak tastes like, and this should give us a window into a very strong oak and a weaker oak effect, and that should tell us something about what the oak is going to be like. So one of the great things about Spain in general and Rioja in particular is they have fun events like the running of the bulls, right? And there's a thing in Valencia where during tomato season they pick the tomatoes and have a big party and throw them at each other. I think that's called the Tomatino or something like that.
Okay.
And then in Rioja they have a special festival which is called the Battle of the Wine. So it's the La Batalla del Vino. And so everybody gets a bucket of wine and they chase each other around and throw wine at each other. And so not all of the wine is good enough to put in bottles. So they got to get rid of it somehow, right? So this is how they get rid of it. If it's the bad
Sure.
wine, they pass it out. They throw it at each other, which is very charming because in California, if you got to get rid of bad wine, you have to get a permit from the government and dispose of it properly and all this kind of stuff. I'd rather be in Spain.
Yeah.
So I guess we should try this. Did you have your
Sure.
wine?
We've got
do
our
you pour
wines,
them?
yeah. What are we starting
Mine's
with?
over there. So I have Crianza in my left hand and Gran Reserva in my right hand. So what are we going to do? Should we give these both a sniff and see what we think?
Yeah, sure.
I thought we were supposed to look at them first.
Oh, yeah, we were supposed to see first, aren't we?
Yes, that's true. Well, we could do that.
Are they going to look kind of the same because they're both Tempranillos?
Yeah, they're very similar in color and
Yeah.
opacity.
I can notice if I hold mine up to my special lights that the Crianza is a little bit less opaque. You can see a little bit more light through it, and that's probably one of the effects of being in a barrel longer. It could be even getting more concentrated because some of the wine is evaporating out of the barrel over time and being replaced with more wine. So the wine is getting concentrated as you do that, right? All right, so we've established that. So sniff, right? By the way, I moved my microphone closer to me. It's not 4 feet away anymore. Is that helping any?
You sound
It's
very
helping
clear.
a lot.
Well, they both have like a very tart berry smell,
Yeah.
but there's something in the Gran Reserva that's almost like vanilla-y or like vanilla or maybe marshmallow a little bit. Guess that's got vanilla in it.
What a clever lad. He's just like saying exactly the stuff that it would say on the internet if you looked it up about these.
Is he really? He
Marshmallow.
didn't really
So-
do any homework.
Yeah, so
I
this
think the Crianza's a little bit peppery, maybe.
so I mean, he mentioned red fruits on the front of that kind of thing, red berries, and then those vanilla type odors are what's called bouquet. Bouquet. I keep forgetting which language we speak here. So smells and flavors that obviously things like raspberry and cherry and orange and lemon, those fruit things that come naturally from the fruits are one thing. Those are inherent to the berries. And then putting it in oak brings out flavors that are called bouquet, which are non-vegetal, non-biological type flavors like tobacco and leather. Vanilla is, of course, from a plant, but is not natively in the berries. It's something that comes from the oak treatments. Okay. I would do the Crianza first and then go to the Gran Reserva.
It's so much more acidic and less sweet than it smells. It smells like it's going to be quite sweet, but it's
Yeah.
actually quite dry.
Huh.
Yeah, it's pretty tart on your tongue.
Yeah, it's very tart. I like it.
Yeah, no, it's quite refreshing. I actually bought a couple of these in Spain when I was there in April. This is not what I'm drinking, but these are store-bought ones because this is a big import. One of these days I want to try the real ones that I bought in Spain from the ones you get in the grocery here. That'd be fun, huh?
Are they just, you haven't cracked into them yet? They're hanging around?
Yeah, they're just hidden in my box of secret wine. All right, I'm going to try the Gran Reserva now.
That's way less tart. That's
Yeah,
actually fruity.
It absolutely has like a note of vanilla at the Like right at the top.
So just for fun, I'm throwing up labels. This is the Marques de Cáceres, the Crianza. It says right on there. The Reserva looks like this. It's a different brand, of course. And it even says down at the bottom, for a mage for a minimum of 5 años, right there.
Oh, yeah, it sure does. So is this like a protected location like they do in some places, or is it purely about the processing?
It is definitely, in French, it's like a dénomination contrôlée. Yeah, and I don't really remember what the name of it is in Spanish, but it is one, and in fact, it's one of the oldest ones in the world, if I'm not mistaken.
Really? French must hate that.
Yeah, so it's all, it's the oldest Spanish one anyway. So it's Denominaciones de Origen from 1920, 1925, which isn't all that obviously. I mean, it's a legal structure that has been imposed some long time after they started making wine there. So
Yeah, it's older than you are.
yeah, just barely. Just barely. So these are both good.
Yes, they are both good.
They are both good.
The Gran
I agree.
Reserva has like almost like a anise or like it's like a spice, right? I can't quite place it, but it specifically has like an element of like spiciness.
Yeah, to me the Gran Reserva, in some ways it seems to be more muted, I suppose, but there's
Yes.
more different stuff going on, but it's not so blatantly in your face as the Crianza in a way.
I think it's less acidic, and I think that makes it like there's like more room for it to hide flavor.
Yeah, I would agree. I didn't bother myself to test this because I didn't think the acids would be that interesting, but I think you're right about that.
Like with your lab equipment, test it.
Right.
I thought you meant just like
And
with your
crack in a few
tongue.
bottles.
Oh, yes. No, we have devices here that will do that for us and give us a more accurate answer. But I just got back from Southern California and I was too lazy to set up equipment. So
That seems fine. Off the top of your head, I know that Darkstar has made a Tempranillo. How does that compare to these in terms of like process, do you think?
well, in process, I think it's sort of like in the middle. It would be more like a Reserva than a Gran Reserva because it's like 3 years in barrel. So it's like that,
I think the Tempranillo from Darkstar is one of our favorite wines, easily.
Yeah.
like that. I guess I should make more of it then because we're almost out.
Please do.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you want to give us wine, you better make more wine to give.
Yeah, so next episode is going to be about sugar and no sugar. Not that that's very profound. I think most people can tell sugar from not sugar. But the underlying wines are fun and interesting. Let me see.
So like what is that German wine that's
I think
quite sweet?
I think the Riesling is on the,
Rieslings.
if I recall correctly, is on the
Yes,
docket.
we are going to do Rieslings, and both of them are from a company called Dr. Lucen, which
Delightful.
is a strange name. That's the label. And then we're going to have the dry one, which has this blue label. That means there's no sugar. And then we're going to have the sweet one. And I think this is just off dry. It's not super, super sweet. It's not the sweetest you can get. This is medium sweet. Okay. Not super sweet. And also Dr. Lucen. And strangely enough, this one is actually called blue something, even though the other one has a blue label.
Well, that's a blue.
We'll figure that out next time. Germans.
I had Rieslings when I was much younger and I did not like them. And so I wonder if I've come around to appreciating a sweet wine.
So I don't know about the sweet wine, but I think you'll really like the dry one.
Okay. That's exciting.
We'll see. All righty. Other thoughts about this? We done for the day?
I think so. I don't think I have other.
Not really. I
Questions
mean,
or comments?
it's so fascinating how much different it is just from sitting on oak for a couple of years. It's like
Yeah.
a completely different texture and smell. I'm like really surprised by
It's
how
very
distinct
different.
it is when it's the same varietal.
Yeah, there's another experiment we do here, which is doing 1 barrel on French oak and 1 barrel on Hungarian oak, like with
Well, that's
cubes.
super interesting.
And it's really an interesting thing because you're only using like 70 grams of cubes. It's like half of a Dixie cup. And the difference between those two is just like, you can't believe that much wood is doing
Well,
that much.
that's great. I would love to
Yeah.
experiment with that.
We should do that sometime when you're visiting.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Anyway,
Yeah, that sounds like a blast.
thanks for joining us. And next time should be fun because we're going to have Riesling. And then after that, I have to go get a whole bunch of other wines because I didn't buy them all yet. So I think you run out of wine at Riesling. And then, well, I made a list. Who knows if they still have those wines? So the list might change a little bit. But basically, we're going to go on to things like acids and terroir and noble varietals and then dessert wines. So there's all kinds of fun ahead of us. So I am going to conclude the video now. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
I